Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm Kathy from Couple Chatter.
Welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been a while, sorry about that. There's been a lot going on, but it is a true privilege to be back sharing with you just what we've been learning. And what are we going to talk about tonight, my love?
Well, I thought tonight we'd probably start, but it'll take a little while to go through, and that's communication. That is a...
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Big.
thinking, yeah.
That's a big one. As a counsellor, one of the things I notice in relationships, and I don't mean just couple relationships, it can be with your family, it can be your siblings, your friends, your workmates. The biggest issue that seems to be is that people don't understand how to communicate well in a healthy way.
Yeah, and it's so easy to unconsciously have something happen that causes difficulties. It could be because of things that have happened in the house when you've grown up. It can be from from habits that you have socially with your friends. It can be just physical things within yourself. Maybe we could tell some stories just to illustrate some of those things.
I think that's a great idea if we can give examples. I mean, we all grow up with things that have happened in our past too, that play a part in who we are. And so we're not going to know what's going on for the other person. You don't know sometimes always their past.
Yeah.
So yeah, a great story. Our first story, our honeymoon.
Yeah, we were down in Sydney. It was a really, we were in an incredible store, and
the markets actually. It's the markets, and we're walking along, and of course, as a female, I was loving everything I'd see. You know, all the beautiful rings and necklaces and clothes, and I'd say, oh, I love that. Oh, I really like that. Wow, I really like that.
And every time KJ said that, I was thinking, oh, I need to buy that, or I've got to make a note of that. How much does that cost? How can I get back? Because my mum, I like that, was code for please buy it.
Now, I didn't know that, of course. I'd actually not gotten the privilege of meeting Greg's mum. She'd passed before we met. So it was interesting because Greg was a little bit quiet as I was saying all these things, and I think it was really led by God that put it on my heart. I turned around and just sort of said to him, you do know just because I say I like it doesn't mean I want it. Doesn't mean you have to buy it. I'm just sharing with you the tastes I have, the sort of things I like.
And I was so glad that, because that was going to be a very expensive little trip.
So, you know, if I hadn't communicated that, that could have been something that down the track caused a lot of grief, because Greg could have felt like he had to buy all this stuff for me. Then I could have stressed about all the money getting spent when he was thinking I was saying I like it, which meant he had to buy it. Simple miscommunication
from family backgrounds.
Family backgrounds. So we really believe in just talking about everything. One really funny example, and this sounds really petty or silly. In our shower, we have this shower pump gel, and I'd use it and I'd put it down, but every time I got in the shower, it would be moved. And this went on for months.
Yeah.
And it was actually just the other day, because it was going on for months, and I'm thinking in my head, why does he keep moving it? Does he not like where I put it? Silly little thing. But in the end, it was sort of building up in me, and I thought, I'm just going to ask. We really believe in speaking everything out so that there's nothing miscommunicated. So I just said to him one day, I'm just wondering, does it upset you every time I put the shower gel in that corner of the shower?
And I just looked puzzled and said, I actually use it too, which KJ hadn't realised.
I had no. Doesn't matter.
So I pick it up and I pop it down somewhere, but it was this mysterious thing that was wandering around the little shower cubicle, and so puzzling.
Here I was thinking, he must be getting so frustrated every time he gets in the shower and thinks, oh my goodness, she keeps moving it. When actually it was really quite funny. It was just that I didn't know he was using it, which it was no issue, it was both of ours, but I didn't know it was just that he was using it, and so he just put it down right there. So again, that could have built up. If that was an issue for Greg, if he hadn't discussed it and I kept doing it, it could cause a fight later.
And the interesting thing is that, when you start to get a bit tense or a bit angry about, a bit frustrated about something, and you push it off or you shelve it or try and ignore it, sometimes it can build and suddenly one day out of the blue there's suddenly the other one says something quite casual and suddenly you flare up and and it's just out of all proportion. It's just this series of things building up.
Fights happen.
Yeah.
And again, it's only because we haven't voiced it. Now, I know in counselling with couples, a lot of the men often struggle to voice anything in communication. Sometimes it can be really tough for them, and a lot of that is their upbringing, without a doubt. Gratefully, Greg is someone who will communicate everything, and I'm grateful for that. But if you're in a relationship where one of you, male or female, struggles, can we encourage you? It's really worth learning the skills to communicate, isn't it?
And we'd love to deal with that over a period of weeks. So,
communication, there's a lot to learn about it, and we do these 3 questions once a week or fortnight that we are going to, maybe in a month or just down the track soon, share it with you, but if you're not communicating well, then the questions won't work well, and that's why we're starting with this.
So we've had, like parents, my mum saying I like that item, and that caused miscommunication. That could have caused miscommunication, or just simply not knowing something the other person was doing, like the shampoo in the shower, caused a problem. And then there was the toilet light.
Oh, the toilet light. Yes, I know all the women there are going, oh my goodness, I agree. The toilet light, for ages, I could not understand why even during the day, my husband would even put the toilet light on to go to the toilet, but never turn it off. Never, ever turn it off.
Did he put the toilet seat down?
He's very good that way, but we were in a group talking once about this, and the amount of women who could relate and say, why can't you just turn the light off? So I was asking Greg one day, I sort of said, it would really be great if when you've been to the toilet, if you could just turn the light off, especially through the day, save electricity.
Yeah, and I was puzzled a bit about that for a little bit, then I thought, I probably do. And then I said to KJ, I actually have a cataract forming, so that might have caused it. So even physical things in yourself can be strange to the other person and can result in conflict again if you don't communicate. It sounds so easy to say a small issue, but if you don't communicate, it
becomes a big issue.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think Greg even realised that he was leaving the light on.
No.
And it was building up in me. I was getting frustrated, and I thought, you know what, I can choose to let it build up and end up having an argument, or I can choose to discuss it and say, why, just help me understand why you keep leaving the light on.
Because I think that's a great way that you said that too, wasn't it? You said, I
help me understand.
Help me understand, yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an attack on me. It didn't say, you're always doing this, or why do you do that, or
that's right.
There wasn't a you statement really as a...
help me understand, I statement. So that's really important actually. It's really easy, especially if you're frustrated and, after a time of the light constantly being on all the time, it would be easy to say, for goodness sake, will you just turn the light off? Which then could have caused hurt or got his back up and caused an argument.
Yeah, and there's a phrase sometimes we use, hurting people they hurt back.
That's right, so hurting people hurt people.
Yes.
That's right.
Well said, yeah.
And so how you ask the question, how you communicate it is really vital. If you do it when you're angry, if you do it when you're exhausted, you're tending to do it not in a healthy way.
So I think sometimes when I have something that I want to that I'm feeling a little bit angry or a little bit hurt about, I actually just say, look, I felt angry this afternoon when you did this quickly. And often KJ doesn't even realise that she did it quickly or whatever, but the I feel or I felt, is a really safe way of saying, because I'm putting out there where I'm at and KJ has space to step towards me, whereas if I say you do, or you did,
I'm stepping away
then
from him.
KJ effectively steps away, and so, but you want communications about coming together.
That's beautifully said, and that's right. Like, I had no idea, and so I know Greg's heart. I know his heart, and I know that he loves me. So I know that when he says, I really felt hurt when this happened, I know that he's just trying to communicate and understand what was going on. And often I'll go, oh, I didn't even know that happened. How could I do it differently? Or he'll say, oh, that's okay, I misread it. Or I know we won't talk for too much longer, bear with us, but we were going to the coast recently for some tests for me, and my bag was packed just in case I had to have a whole lot of tests and stay. But I remember saying to Greg while we were driving, hey babe, how do you feel even if I didn't have to have any tests, if I stay with my parents who live down there for the week, just have some time with them?
And I started to freak out.
Did he freak out? He goes quiet.
Yeah.
He goes quiet, and I was just driving for a while, and he was struggling, I could tell.
And just to come back to some of our communication things, I think you might have said something like, I want to understand what's going on for you at the moment. So
yeah.
So an I statement.
At first, Greg was sort of saying, oh, well, the friends he had, people in his life before we met, if a partner had said that, everyone assumed they were having marriage problems. Was that right?
They even went to guesses about, I give them 6 weeks, I give them 8 weeks, I give them 5 months. It was really code for they're about to break up. So I'm getting I'm thinking really, really bizarre things about
what's happened.
And if it wasn't for the fact we're travelling down the highway at about 100k, I might have actually just hit the wheel to one side and said, we've got to talk about this. We're breaking up.
Where for me, in reality, often, women go off and have girl time, men go off and have men time and stay with families and that. And so I sort of kept driving because I could get the feeling that he was struggling with it. And so for a while I wanted him...
He goes quiet for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted him to process it. I wanted to give him the space to process it first. And then I just felt the need to say, I'd really love to understand...
So an I statement, yeah.
Yeah, I'd really love to understand. Please help me understand what's behind that fear for you. What's happening? Why is that such a scary thing for you?
And actually just communicating that back, even though there was KJ had made an I statement and I was able to step towards her. It was still incredibly scary and vulnerable to do that.
It was, and I admired Greg because he was willing to be transparent and very honest, and it wasn't easy for either of us because I haven't come from where Greg's come from, and so it could have been easy for me to really get frustrated. And I know as we talked it through and we kept talking through, and I said to him, usually what I would hear the husband say is, that's a great idea, that's fantastic, you deserve to have some time and go off with the women. But so I felt a bit hurt, and I expressed that and talked that through, and we just heard each other, we gave each other the time, because once I understood where it was coming from, we were able to understand each other and come together more. And I stayed the week with my parents.
But if you hadn't said it as an I statement, I want to understand, or I feel, or I was puzzled why you da-da-da-da, or can you help me understand? If you hadn't said it like that, I was feeling so hurt that if any sort of, what are you doing, I would have backed right away. I wouldn't have been able to cope because I was feeling that vulnerable. So the I statements were brilliant.
But, I will be very honest. At first, really, my first reaction in my mind was, are you kidding me? You're going to have an issue. Like, I haven't seen my parents for ages. They're getting older. Surely you can say, this is great, go and do it. Instead, and so I did struggle at first. And though giving Greg time to process it, I needed time to pray about it and process it before I spoke. Because I would have spoke in hurt or frustration. And I reminded myself, I know Greg's heart. I know he loves me. He's not trying to control me. He's not doing anything that's not from a pure heart. So there's got to be a reason behind it. So we're not saying that any of this is easy. It's not easy. But the more you do it, the more you practice it, it actually becomes more natural, doesn't it?
And what we want to do in coming weeks is give a bit of a framework for something you could do week by week that sort of helps you develop these skills.
Yeah.
So,
So I think it's probably good to finish there, but just to let you know, on the first page of the couples chatter, Greg's putting on there...
It's that way or it's that way. Wherever the hyperlink is, up maybe. Greg's
putting on there 5 conflict resolution types, and we'd really love to encourage you to have a look at them. There's the competitive one who, when there's conflict, I'm going to win this no matter what, that's it. Or the one who withdraws and just doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't want to speak about it. Well, he loves acting, he loves acting. There's 5 different ones. The last one's the most important, which is about wanting each other to be heard and working it through together. And so we encourage you to both, as a couple, sit down, look at those 5 different ways of dealing with conflict and be honest in yourself who you really are, and are you willing to work on doing it differently and doing the last one, which is a healthy way. And
we'll, as I said, we'll give some frameworks and help you develop that over a few weeks.
Yeah, and our desire is now to, keep this going weekly. We are sorry that we've missed it. I've not been well, but we're back and we're excited, and we really value you taking the time just to listen today, and we really pray that it helps you sometime in some way and be encouraged. Yeah. It's worth the work.
It is very much.
Bye for now. Thank you. Bless you.